Album was the biggest-selling debut of last year, achieving double platinum status and spawning hit singles including Break Even and The Man Who Can't Be Moved. As one-third of Irish group The Script, our next guest is having to adapt to life in the fast lane. They're currently jetting back and forth from the United States, where they're supporting Adele on her tour of North America. We'll be hearing their latest hit at the end of the show, but first, let's catch up with their lead singer, Danny O'Donoghue.
Nice to be back on.
So how are you? What have you been up to since we last saw you?
I'm really good, a little tired. You know, we flew in this morning from Phoenix.
Did you?
We've been supporting Adele on her American tour, and it's been going from strength to strength since the last time we've been on the show. Yeah.
That's obviously not your first time in America, because you've worked there before. You worked there for about 10 years or so, didn't you?
Yeah, about 10 years. Myself and Mark were producing over there. We've done some remixes for like Justin Timberlake, and got a chance to really kind of hone in on our work as producers and writers. And you know, we didn't know, but it was all leading towards a spearhead.
But that was obviously behind-the-scenes stuff. What's it like now, working in America and being out there?
It's really crazy. You know, the last time we were on the show, I was saying that you know, we wrote and arranged all this music in a really small shed in Dublin, and just to see it going from strength to strength, it's been an amazing experience.
And working with all these people as well.
Yeah.
How fantastic.
Yeah, it was. You know, we found ourselves at Christmas time. We got the opportunity to go see Coldplay. It was our first kind of 2 days off we've had at Christmas, and went to see Coldplay, and Bono was in the audience as well, and I was getting mobbed while I was in the crowd. And I was invited. No, listen, like honestly, it was a Forrest Gump moment. And you know, have you seen the film Forrest Gump?
Love it.
Where he's like, he's all just in these places, like it's an ordinary guy in extraordinary circumstances. And you know, I was invited back for drinks with Chris Martin and Bono. Back at this little residence bar in Dublin, right? And I was just standing in the room going, I can't believe, you know what I mean? There's a small guy from Dublin sitting in a room with two massive superstars, and it's just, you know, every day there's been those
and now they're swimming again.
I get, you know, exactly. Yeah.
So you're not here just for us, though, are you? What are you over
We're here for
for?
comic relief.
Yeah.
You know, we flew back for such a great cause. When we're doing a song, a David Bowie song called Heroes, which is such an apt. We do it as our very last song. I don't know if any of you guys have been to our shows, but we do Heroes as the last song, and it's a real moment. So we're going to try and recreate that as well. So we'll do that tonight on the show.
And your single, obviously, it's going to be out on Monday, isn't it?
Yes, on Monday.
On Monday, called Talk You Down. What's that about?
It's about a very a concept of relationship suicide. The chorus in the song is basically about this moment, this fight or flight moment, when the guy is after breaking up with the girl, and he's standing there and he's having a cigarette. And he realises by the end of the cigarette that only about 3 to 4 minutes have passed, and she's only going to be a little bit down the road. So he puts the cigarette out and he runs after her and tries to follow her. But in her leaving the relationship, it's the end of him as well.
Yeah.
And you know, the concept of the relationship suicide, because if you go, I go. If you leave the relationship, then there's going to be nothing.
Did you write that? Did you write?
Yeah, we write and produce all.
Where does that come from? Just people that you know, or your history?
It can happen. You know, the things people say mainly. You know,
and that's what comes to you.
It comes to inspiration. You know, girlfriends and ex-girlfriends have turned around, like in the middle of a fight. You know, they'll say something so powerful, and you know,
my eyes. Hold it right there.
Yeah, no, listen. Yeah, I've been so many times. I'm like, my eyes will glaze over, and the little guy in my head will go, get the pad and paper and write it down. You know, but
you're going to be in The Hills as well, the MTV show, is that right?
That's right, yeah. We were out in the States, and the producers really liked the band, and they asked could they be part of what's going on. And one of the characters, Adriana, she actually works for the label Epic, and so they came down to our very first showcase in LA, as if it wasn't nerve-wracking enough having so many big wigs and so many suits in the room. They also had one of the biggest shows in the world now coming down to tape it as well.
So
this is a docu-soap, isn't it, in America?
But Sherry, I'm going to be in it. Because when I went there the other week, they were filming in this cafe, and I walked past the camera. Oh.
I got my 15 minutes.
Yeah. 1 minute.
But you're also going to be performing at the Shepherd's Bush Empire it's called a 5-night stand.
The 5-night stand, yeah. We just finished the European tour. It was sold out. And the 5-night stand is an opportunity because there was so many people who didn't get to see us in a smaller environment before we get to the bigger places. And we just want to do something that was a bit of a statement. 5-night stand. We're going to be doing something very special each night. Hopefully having a special guest come out. And you know, I'm not going to say too much about it now, but it's going to be a real
Is that
treat
because
for
you're
the fans.
superstitious? You don't want to say too much about it?
Oh, yeah, I was listening to you guys talking about the superstition thing as well. You know, it's Mark, the guitarist from the band, went to see what's the word, clairvoyance. And she told him that he was on stage, you know, crystal ball. He told him that a light was going to fall and break his back on stage.
Oh, my word.
So he told me this, and every stage I go to now, I'm the one checking around. He doesn't mind, he's just standing there playing guitar, and I'm the one looking around for all the lights, you know?
Oh, no.
So I wouldn't say we're superstitious, but there's like little things like that I
That
kind
stay with you, don't
I
they?
hold
Yeah.
on to,
But do you have little routines before you go on stage and stuff like actors do?
We drink, we have a thing called Cheeky Hour, which is an hour before we go on stage. We have one vodka and cranberry. And if we don't have that, I mean, we are not going on.
Superstition, isn't it?
It's a very good one. It's a lush superstition.
We're very similar.
Yeah, we're alike, me and you. Very alike.
Well, you're going to be performing the single at the end of the show. As ever, it's so nice to have you on.
Thank you
It's
for having us.
Danny O'Donoghue, everyone. OK, loads more still to come this lunchtime, including our thoughts on 1976. Would we really want to return to the era of polyester loon pants and 3-day weeks? Back soon.